It's 19th of July 2025. Yeah, just put the date on it. Been trying to do this video for 3 years now. Before that, was being targeted, and I'm lucky to still be here. Shocked to still be here. I don't think many people get this far. I'm not going to go into all the number of reasons that might be, because it is what it is, and I'm blind to a lot of what's been happening. I only know what I've gone through. I know what I've lived, and I know there's a lot of shit being spun out there as truth. So all I can do is tell my story, and I kept telling myself that this is going to be the easiest thing that I would have to do after everything that's already happened to us, and it's not. It's not. You know, pep talks of all we have to do is sit down and talk. It's just not like that. It's taken so long to get to the point where I can even say some of these words or outline some of this stuff, because it's that disgusting. So I mean, we're talking next level kind of stuff here. This isn't just a joke. Like, this isn't some bad B-grade horror movie. Like, this is really intense sickness that has just been quite shocking to me, really, after all is said and done, that that something like this can kind of go this far and nobody really questions it, or so yeah, not knowing what's actually been said about me, just assuming, like, that's really not neither here nor there, considering what I have to disclose. So all these, oh man, it is just so hard to rein in my language, because when you're dealing with this kind of mental sickness and the things that they've actually done to my son and to myself, it's very hard to not use the kind of language that they deserve. So I'm going to try, but yeah, I'm kind of not making any apologies for how this comes out. It's the way it is, and I'm not really going to censor myself for anybody. It has to be just the way it is. So it's now 19th of July 2025. My son, I just want to basically start by saying the anger and the pain that I feel, that I have to actually speak this out, and that my son is going to hear it, which in a perfect world he wouldn't. I would never allow him to hear some of this stuff until he was ready to process it, and I can't even think that far, and I can't even say that sentence anyway. That's well out of the equation for what has happened and what we're dealing with right now. So yeah, if I'm all over the place and I'm a complete mess and I can't string words together, that's why. It's because this is my child, and it's very difficult to articulate. And there's also a lot of outside interference going on, because when you're dealing with people who abuse little children, and I mean organized groups, you don't often get to speak. They don't want you to speak. And it's not just they don't want you, you will not get to speak. So we've seen that happen a lot of times all around the board. So many people have lost their lives for that. And knowing that going in, it's really not of a concern to me. Like I'm doing this either way. And I'm putting this energy out there that this is what happens. You know, don't expect no backlash, because I'm here. And unfortunately for these people, I understand my infinite nature and my divinity and, you know, what I am, which is not this. More than this. This is basically just getting me around. So understanding that I can't be touched has infuriated them and scared them. So, you know, people like me that do get that, you know, you can take us out of our lives, but it's not going to stop that train from running. Like, it's just not. I'll speak for myself, because I honestly don't have the authority to speak for anyone else or feel connected to any kind of thing in that way. Like I said, I'm completely blind in this. I'm a mum who has been protecting and supporting and taking care of my son. And I have no outside contact or communication besides a couple of people, and not close, just acquaintance, friends that I may talk to once every now and then. So there is nothing, there is no social contact for me, apart from my son when he's here, and he's not himself, I'll say, and will lead to that, I guess. But initially in 2017, is when I found out that my son had been abused by someone I was in a relationship with when he was very small, our first relationship after his father. And the person had already left at that point when I found this out, so we weren't still together. And yeah, this person was basically protected instead of me and Jet, and we were targeted. So I'm guessing they saw an opportunity to make money off my son and needed me out of the picture as well. That didn't happen. After numerous attempts, didn't happen. And I kind of take that on in the sense that I use that as personal power, you know, that I got that far. And it's not something I sit and dwell on, because like I said, the most important thing is the processing that is going to have to be done later on, because children don't have the same kind of equipment and tools that we do to get through this kind of thing at this age, or even understand it. And even worse, when they're manipulated and they're indoctrinated, whether it's into a group or by a group of people, and basically that's their MO, is they will manipulate these kids into thinking that they're unloved, that their parents are crazy, just everything you could possibly imagine, like the sickening stuff that they tell these kids and do to these kids is no joke. But the irony is that they think that these kids are unprotected, or that nobody's ever going to stand up to them or speak up or out them. So, and it is difficult. I mean, what did I say in the very first beginning was people don't get this far. So silence is, you know, what they love. It's going to breed more and more if everyone fears it, fears them, and this is what happens. And once again, I'm not judging anybody. I would never judge anybody for how they react or what they do stand up for or what they don't. That's none of my business. But it kind of is in this situation. Like, I've never asked for support, but I also didn't ask for the opposite of support. You know, for people to just turn their backs, for people to lie, destroy lives, basically, to protect themselves. So, yeah, in 2017 is when everything, basically our lives were just catapulted into hell, and a pedo ring was targeting us and surveilling us, and yeah, I knew that it was basically it. They were going to take him, and I won't go into the details right here and now, but heavy stuff. Shocked, totally shocked myself at how I reacted in that situation, and turned things around, and we ended up living instead. It's just so difficult because there's just so much information. So yeah, these people were all positioned all around the house, neighbors' houses, whatever. Like, I don't even know how they get people out of their homes, how they even do that kind of stuff. But yeah, they were basically situated pretty close by and had access to the house. So, I mean, these people can do anything, like, in that respect. They can't fuck with you, but they can do anything in the 3D level. So they'll just get a locksmith rock up to your house in a van. Even if you're not there, no one's even going to question that, right? And they've got keys to your home, and you've got surveillance installed by the time you come home, and everything's all rosy. This is the kind of shit. And then your information's put on the dark web. Images, video footage of your children. So when you become a target in that way, there's no holds barred. Like, people will target you for any reason, whether it's oh, you know, I'm just some sick Satanist who wants some fucking target practice, so I'm gonna fuck with this girl. Or, you know, once your information is sold at that level and your child, you need to understand the various situations you can be put in, the myriad of targeting that can happen from that. I keep getting distracted. So basically, when the house was infiltrated, and there's just so many instances. It's really hard, and sometimes they jumble into one another. But suffice to say, you know, I've been drugged, taken out of my bed, and so has my son. After an incident where They were in the home, trying to procure my son and eliminate us. I inadvertently did something that created a bit of a mess for them, and see, they like things done in the dark, they like things done in silence, and they don't like to be seen. So during let's just say a home invasion, I randomly picked up the phone and called the police. Only difference was I didn't say that it was a home invasion or that there were people attacking me, because I didn't think that would get them there quick enough. So I said something that you probably should never say over a police line, starting with T, E, R, O, R, I, S, T. And boom, alarm bells just went off everywhere. There were like alarm bells I could hear over the phone straight away. And next thing we know, there's just, the street was full of police cars. So that's kind of how I made a big mess. And I'm suspecting that these people have set about over the past few years that they've had to get rid of some witnesses, or some people who do know the truth. Whether that's eliminating them, paying them off, threatening them, because these people will go straight for the drug dealer. They will threaten your kids first. So you don't speak up because your kid's going to be threatened. And what I said to that was, fuck you, come at me. And they really didn't like it. They don't like the lack of fear. They want that fear, and they'll kind of do anything to get it. And torturing is the way to get it. So after that incident, where, you know, I had a lot of spectators in the arena, so to speak, there were discussions between them that this wasn't some of their jurisdiction and they needed to leave. So we were just left with the core group that were obviously not there to assist. And while they were there, I was told that I was going to have to stay in a mental care facility for a few days because of the phone call that I'd made, and it was very serious. And so obviously there wasn't any talk of what was happening in the house. That was all in my head, apparently. Nobody actually said that. I'm just... So yeah, an ambulance took me off, but not before. I was offered a nice hot beverage, cup of tea. Police officer made me a cup of tea, which is not something I've ever experienced before, but quickly realised why upon arrival to the hospital, when they drug tested me and told me that I had something in my system that I didn't take. And I think then I sort of realised what narrative they were going to be pushing with this, that they need to kind of feel like, well, this isn't important. Like, no one's going to care about them. She's a drug addict, or she hits her son, or because these are two of the narratives I've heard, which are absolute bullshit. And you'll never be able to stand in my face and throw that anywhere near me, because your energy is going to speak volumes. You are never going to be able to get in my face and say that, accuse me of that. So come and try if you like, and we'll see how that goes. We'll watch you fall and fold. Because everything you've done's been on the back of a fucking lie. So they like to feel that these kids will somehow be better off away from families. And some of these people are loving parents. Good people, good parents. I only say some because I'm just talking from what I have found out myself. I didn't mean that at all, like only a select few. All parents love their children, and no child should ever be taken from their parents like that, by that, for that. But yeah, it's kind of hard to get through. Keep getting sidetracked. So I'm admitted to hospital. I don't think they had planned to keep me there long, because already, as soon as I hit the emergency room, and not the emergency room, it was weird. It was some sort of holding place, and strangely enough, there wasn't a lot of hustle and bustle. There was no one in there except for maybe one other person, and the curtains were closed, and it was really weird. And yet they had like 6 or 7 staff on. So yeah, I don't think they plan to keep me there long, because let's just say there were already guns pointed at me. So once I realized that, I started walking about. So I'm kind of annoying, or it's not the right word, making people nervous, because I was moving about a lot, knowing what was going on. And I still speculate on after that. So, you know, obviously they clean up these messes. So say someone took me out in that hospital, like right there. Obviously they have some sort of protocol to clean up these kind of messes, because that's not the first time. I've been sitting in a room at the hospital where they're unzipping a body bag in the room next to me and discussing like how they're going to play this. Okay. And I really hope I don't hope anything. I don't wish for any kind of result from this. I'm not doing this. It's weird because there's nothing that I want from this. I want it to be over. I want it to be done. I want to just get this out, basically out of me, all of this that I've been holding for so many years. But I was almost going to say, I want, or I hope, anyone who has kind of gifts can see that I'm telling the truth. But I don't actually want that either. This is not something I would want anyone to have to even think about or have in their minds at all. But it has to come out. It has to be done. And because there's so many people who didn't get this opportunity, who didn't get this far. And when you read news reports or hear things on the news, you should really take that at face value, because you really don't know what sort of cover-up has been involved there. And which is exactly like fast forwarding a little bit further, these people actually used my psychic to gain information about what I knew. And she wasn't just my psychic. I don't even want to say that term. That's terrible to say that. She was a beautiful woman. And she gave a lot to a lot of people. Like, I know she gave a lot to a lot of people. Because when you go to see somebody like that, yeah, sometimes it changes you for the better. And that one hurts. That really hurts. Still talking about it. But they brought her in basically right next to the room that I was in as well. I mean, this is what these people do. They love mentally fucking with you so that they can inflict as much trauma on you as possible. They want trauma, they want pain, they want fear. Like, this is what feeds them. And when I say feeds them, the best way to describe it is it actually puffs them up and makes them bigger. Like, they feel empowered by it, which is really insane because I can't think of anything less powerful. But it's the way it is for them. So they wanted to know basically what I knew, and yeah, it just sickens me that. And they've said it about me, and they've said it about my son. Is these people are of no consequence to us as people, like no consequence. And I was there probably meters away when she was killed. And just gonna keep moving forward. The strange thing was, I guess, the next day, I think it was the next day, I was actually just walking past, the television was on in the background, and see, you need to understand at this point, I think I was going crazy, because when so many insane things happen, you actually start questioning your own sanity. You think, this can't be real, this can't be actually happening. No one would be that brash. Nobody is capable. So you do kind of tell yourself that a lot, but at some point you need to just understand that, yeah, or you get little confirmations that, you know, yeah. And I did hear a news report which correlated to what I'd heard the night before. And it was a cover-up, you know, an accident. And yeah, as much as that one hurts, there's a lot of anger with that too, because these people didn't fucking deserve this. These people did nothing to deserve it. There's quite possibly a couple of neighbours as well. And these people are going to be justified, like they just will, because they didn't deserve it. They did nothing to deserve this. Except for see you. So don't think for a fucking second that you haven't been seen all around the board. Okay? Because smoke and mirrors works here, you know, on the planet sort of thing. But there's a lot more going on. And where I've gotten to now, because of the evolution that my soul has taken through this whole thing, which is just inevitable when these kind of things are put in your path and you've had to go through them. You do evolve. And yeah, I'm at a place now where it's just sad, because I know that creating shit is just going to bring more shit back onto you. So that's how I live. And unfortunately, you know, there's a whole world of shit coming for some of these people, and nobody even wants that. Like, we just don't want any more of it at all. Don't want it to go around anymore. Like, it's done. How can kids come into their purpose or be like valid in this world if they don't even feel safe? And you know, you ask your kids if they feel safe, I'm sure they're going to say yes, because they have their parents and all of this. But ask a parent if you really feel your kids are safe. That's where we're at. That's where we're at right now. And when a parent who is the sole protector of their child, like you're everything for them, feels helpless or hopeless, it's scary. And I've been through that. And I took my power back, basically. And I said, no, fuck you. You can come for me. You can try and take me out. You can go your hardest. You're not going to be able to use people around me either to get at me, because that's what they'll do. They'll find what you love, and they'll destroy that if they can't get to you. So you need to be incredibly tough and understand that at a higher level, you know how connected you are to the people you love. You don't need fake pleasantries for that. And just don't allow it. So yeah, I mean, when I woke up this morning, as soon as I open my eyes every morning, first off, I remember that all this is happening, and I'm like a black sheep on an entire planet, which is kind of what these people have made me out to be, which is insane. And I'm pretty sure they've only shown like my beast mode when my son was being targeted and manipulated and abused and sodomized. And I'm sure they've only shown the pain and anger that's involved with that, and nothing that reflects what I am at my core and why I'm here and what I bring and the love that I have. So yeah, I wouldn't misconstrue and think that love is something that's all fluffy and weak, and you should really steer away from. It kind of sounds strange coming from me, considering I barely trust anybody after what's happened, but yeah, love is actually the most powerful energy that there is. The most powerful. it can physically split mountains. Like, it just does. You can ask anyone in the higher echelons about that. And I'm talking about like divine love. Love that is huge. So, you know, I'm pretty sure they've been painting a really nice picture. And I'll try and stay on track because I just keep getting distracted trying to like work my vocal cords as well, because like I said, I don't get to speak to anybody. And it's not a pity party. Don't be confused. I used to be incredibly social and you know, people in my life and stuff like that. So I'm not a social outcast or anything like that. Just no one's gonna stick around somebody who's doing this, who's been through this. Who's been targeted like this either. Like, you're just not. I mean, who's really gonna stand by and put themselves in the firing line as well? So yeah, it is what it is. That's not the message. You can't sweat the small stuff when there's really big things that need to be addressed. So I might have a break. I'm starting to get like, talk for 36 minutes. I hate doing this. This is not anything I would have ever done. As you can probably tell, I'm not anyone who puts this kind of stuff up or likes connecting like this. I'm not sure how much longer I'm gonna have. Being pretty heavily targeted. There have been attempts, you know, woken up and being smothered in my bed and, you know, all sorts of stuff like that. So, I mean, this shit is real, and this isn't just physical. They're not just gonna come in my house and say, well, you know, we don't want you speaking about this. There's other ways. Throat chakra is always targeted, and you ask anyone, any truth teller, and yeah, they will go for the throat. So at the moment, my spine feels like it's poking into the back of my throat, and you know, this doesn't happen like just one random person targeting you, especially not when you're like a real one who understands who you are, you know, who knows, like, no one is more powerful than someone else, which is what they want you to think, is they have some sort of power over you, hold over you.